Good grief, Sam. Come on in now.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? Now
Yeah.
you asked me to help you, so I want to help you. Okay.
All right.
So you got a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's take some notes here. The first thing I would do is to talk to the floor crew. Have you already done that? And
I have. I mean, I said hello on my way in.
no, hello doesn't get it. Hello doesn't get it. You need to tell them exactly the shots that you want. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
That's good. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Shots. Okay.
Focus. And the big thing is you have to be focused. Focused, as in listening to me when I'm talking to you.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
You're right.
focus.
Sorry.
And then the next thing I would do is check the lighting. You know, is the lighting where you want it? Huh?
Yeah, I think it should. Yeah, it's.
Not that.
Not that.
Focus.
Okay.
Focus.
Okay.
Focus.
Focus.
Yes.
Focus. Okay. Lighting. Oh, that's good. You gotta know where the lighting is. Sorry. No, I'm good. Okay. Yeah. So
You know,
like you were saying. Yeah.
Okay. And if I were you two, I'd have more than one ink pen because that can be such a distraction.
More than one?
Now what are you going to do?
Okay. I have this. Okay. More than one ink pen. This is good.
More than one ink pen.
Really
Right. Well, I think what we need to do is I can.
Okay.
I can.
Sorry. Focus.
I can text you, okay, with some tips,
Yes,
okay?
yes. You wanna
And
text
once
me
I
now?
text you, I want you to read them and study because you need to be ready for light talk.
It's time to have some fun. Light talk with Sam Beman. We got skits and interviews. We got everything but the blues. It's on. Light talk is on. Light talk with Sam Beman.
Hey everybody, I'm Sam Beman. You're watching Light Talk, and I want to share something with you because I know that there's a lot going on out there. Some people can get stressed out. I mean, really stressed out, and I understand. So today we're going to be talking about stress and distractions. More distractions than the stress, but I want to share something with you, and it's just a basic story from my life. And this goes back a couple of years. I was actually asked to DJ a wedding. Yes, I also DJ. And so I was asked to DJ a wedding, to fill in for another DJ who was sick. Now, this event was about an hour away. Well, the time of the event was just a few hours away. So that meant that I had to get all of my gear together. I had to get my gear, the music, everything in the van packed up and drive an hour away to get set up. Well, I told the DJ, please send me the music. Yeah, no problem. But keep in mind, this DJ was sick. So I wasn't really feeling the best. All right, I get there, I get set up. I've got to do a ceremony and the reception. Now here's the thing. Because I didn't have all of the music, you should have seen the groom's face when I walked up to him and I said, can you tell me what your first dance is? He said, you don't know? Nope. I don't know. Yeah, panic came over his face and mine. I got a little stressed out, I won't lie. Things are rolling pretty smooth. I'm fast forwarding, okay, to the reception. And then I get asked, why are you not playing all of our songs? I said, I'm so sorry, but I don't have your songs. Okay. That didn't go over too well. Now keep in mind, if you've ever DJ'd before, or if you've had to play music for someone before, a large group of people, it can get pretty stressful really quick. So I started praying, Lord, please help me with this because I don't want to make a mistake. I want to do my best. And so I told them, I said, I don't have your music, but if you can get it to me, I'll make sure to mix it in as best I can. Well, the wedding coordinator actually had the music. Thank you. So I was able to get all of the music loaded in there, started playing it. Everybody's having a great time. At the end of the evening, all was well. So I had to stay focused through all of that. I couldn't get distracted because what could have taken me like out of my game would have been when everybody was getting upset, basically. I mean, I won't lie. that can really take you off. And someone who hasn't been doing that for a long time might have been like, okay, I'm out, I'm gone. You know, this stress and the distraction of everybody giving me the stares right now is too much. But I had to stay focused, I had to stay calm, I had to pray. So we're going to be talking about that with our guests today, Dee Armstrong and Joe Lesh. So stick around, we'll be back in just a moment. All I wanted was some gas. So they picked up the pumps, dropped them over there. Guess I'll have to find gas somewhere else. Oh, thank goodness. What? Who would tear apart the front of a gas pump? Might as well just pull them out of the ground and throw them off to the side. What is going on? Oh, a phone. Make a phone call real quick. Really? Great. Who has 50 cents? Really? I carry a card. Guess I'll have to find gas somewhere else. All I wanted was some gas. And we're back. I'm your host, Sam Beman, and you're watching Light Talk. I'm here with my good friend, Dee Armstrong.
Ah, yes. Been friends a long time.
Yeah, we have been friends
Yes.
for a long time. And the last time that you were on the show was 2009, I think.
My son was in junior high, maybe. He's about to get married. He's almost 30 now, so it's been a while. Yes.
And that was when, I remember that particular show, you sang.
Yes, yes. Oh, I enjoyed that, yeah.
Yeah, because you wanted to branch out into singing more.
Yeah, I've always sung at home and in church, and still basically at home and in church, but I love singing.
Now, have you put out an album since then?
No, I'm not an album kind of person. You know, I like to sing. I like to sing in church, but I'm not one of those perfect singers that I'm more of a entertainer when I play. I play the keyboard and I make the songs I write are just I love my songs and I entertain I'm more of an entertainer.
Okay,
yeah.
so when people come over to your house, you're like, hold up, wait, I have something.
No, you know what? I try not to go to the piano because they know that's exactly what I'm going to do. So they're like, get away from that piano, because I will sit there and play the piano the whole time they're there. And I'm talking to them, talking about being distracted. I'm talking to them, playing my piano. It's like, I'm listening. So they don't like me to go to the piano because that's just so much a part of who I am. Yeah.
Well, and aside from being an entertainer, being on TV on a regular basis, and you've been doing this how many years?
Wow, since I was 19, and Mama D is now 62, so 43 years. 43 years. That was a quick 40. Can I do it again? I want to start over. I want to do it again. Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, 19 years old. Like going into TV. Did you go to school at that time?
No, I got right out of high school, and it was the summer out of high school, and I was 19 because we had traveled in the military, and I missed the dates, you know, for kindergarten. It's like, you can go to kindergarten if you're 5 by this date. If not, you'll go next year and you're 6. So I started school when I was 6, so I got out of high school when I was 19. And what happened was I did really well in high school, not as well as I should have. I just naturally made A's, but I didn't really study. So that was, I wish I had studied. Well, anyway, so my teachers saw me, and it was back at that time when some of you guys probably don't remember, there were no African American colored Negro folks on television. And so there was a big push to get the African American Negro folks on television, and especially for not for news, because why would you study to go, to be a television journalist? They weren't going to hire you. So a lot of local markets looked inside the communities to find someone that they could train, and someone they didn't have to pay a whole lot. And so I had done radio at WDAK, used to be the #1 radio station, and they had a really strong news component, and I was the weekend news person. And my news director and my teacher from high school had suggested that I go to Dick McMichael and audition for the weekend news there. I actually started at Columbus State, which was Columbus College back then, and before then we called it Cody Road High School because it was so small. So I was actually in college, had not graduated, had barely started, and I went and interviewed, and I've always been a good storyteller. And so Dick McMichael said, go do this story. And I went and did the story and wrote it. I guess I wrote it well enough, and I was able to deliver it well enough that he actually hired me at 19 to be a weekend reporter.
That is amazing. And with your experience of doing news on radios, you also learned like how news flowed, and then did you practice a lot of that storytelling in that, or was that just natural?
No, I'll tell you, I was a 19-year-old with I always thought I was going to be an attorney. I always loved words and communication, and so I started studying political science with the hope that I would one day be an attorney. So I didn't really take the news very seriously at all. I'm sorry, but it's true. Yes. So I didn't think I'd be there. I had no idea how the blessing that I had. I was making money and I was having fun, and I was with some of the best journalists in the city. Back then, Channel 3 was #1. All of the staff was like award-winning journalists. They were so kind to me. They had come from Notre Dame and Indiana University, all these different places down here to work, and had really earned their right to be there. And here comes this little African-American Negro girl who just gets the job. But they understood that it was because of the inequities in hiring, that something had to be done to begin to get, to get more African Americans on television. So they were very kind to me. They taught me a lot.
Was there a lot of cohesiveness?
Very cohesive. They were kind to me. We became a family, and I was always appreciative because they could have held that against me, but they didn't. They didn't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward, not only were you doing news, but you got your own talk show as well. So
30 years later, 40 years later, yeah. I didn't dream of a talk show. I had someone come to me and said, do you want to do a talk show? And I wasn't working at the time, and I said, sure. And that's how I got the talk show. I didn't pitch for it or ask someone.
Well, I didn't know if maybe you had seen, like if you had your eye on talk shows that were out there and you were like, man, I really want to do that too.
No.
Because you're really good as a host as well.
I like interviewing. I think that's one of my strong points. I love people and interviewing and talking. I really like that. And I grew to love the talk show. At first it was a job, and then it became something that was just a passion. I really enjoyed it.
Because you've met some of the most wonderful people.
Oh, yes.
All over. I mean, famous actors, celebrities,
yes,
of all kinds.
Anybody who would come through town, they would come through the show. So it was really a good time.
What was one of your memorable guests that you? I mean, there's so many. But
Danny Glover. Okay. Danny Glover was really accommodating. I found out, because I love to do my research. When you do your research on your guests, and you can just hit them with stuff and they wonder how you know this. I found out that he was a not a vegetarian, but he was a very healthy eater.
Okay.
And so I made him a pie made only of dates and nuts. I think it was a 3-ingredient pie. And that thing was so good. So I tested it, I liked it. So when he came, I had one for him. And the whole time he's sitting there, he ate the whole pie. So it was really, really good. And he was talking about healthy eating, vitamins, that sort of thing. I didn't know that part about him until I did some research. Yeah.
I like what you said there, because especially for anybody who's watching, maybe they're thinking like, oh, I'd like to be able to interview people. I'd love to have my own talk show. Like what would I need to do? Like that right there, what you just said is a really important nugget. That to find out something. To find out crazy stuff, yeah. We had Candy Burris on. She's one of the real Atlanta housewives, and she was one of the biggest R&B groups in the late 90s. And she came through because she had a play. And the play was awesome, sold out in Columbus and did really well. But when she came on the show, so I did my little research and stuff. And big stars, when they come somewhere, they have these caveats in their contracts. I must have this and I must have that, and like I only want green M&Ms and all that stuff. Usually the joke.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. So Candy Burris, she liked a particular kind of toilet paper, and so we had our big bag and we had our gift for her, and it was toilet paper, and she almost died. I said, well, girl, I want you to be comfortable while you're here at the station. Take it with you. So it just gives you those moments that you wouldn't have, And she laughed, and she was so sweet. And when she was down at the River Center, and it was time for her to be interviewed, she saw me in the back of the room, and she called me up. And I was like, she remembered my name, and she called me up, and the other stations were there, but it was because I had taken the time, to do the toilet tissue thing, and we had a ball.
I wonder if that was even her love language too, like gift giving. Words
Could have
of
been.
Affirmation. I'm sure you were encouraging to her as well.
Oh yes.
I mean, having been on your show myself, side note, I just want to say thank you again for allowing me to be a part of the Dee Armstrong Show at a time when I was at my weakest.
Yes.
And having you allow me and my mom to come on to the show when I had no hair and I was on my walker and you brought us in. That was a very special moment, for me, because I really thought I was not going to get back on TV again. And so that was it was very special for my mom as well, because she remembered you from high school. She remembered the integration. And she remembered you just being a sweet, sweet person, very friendly. And so she's always loved you. And so Mom says hello, by the way.
Hello!
But also, I want to say that when you're whether you're doing the news or whether you're doing a talk show, do you get distracted at all? Like, is it...
Oh yes. Sometimes I have those thoughts, and I'm thinking, and I'm telling myself, please don't talk to yourself on air. You might. I'm thinking. As soon as I get off air, I got to run, in the newsroom and do this, and I'm like, please, don't talk to yourself on air. Yes.
That is very tough. I say that because I used to work in insurance when I was a teenager. I worked at an insurance agency, and I remember there were people in the office that would talk to themselves, and I was like, why in the world are they talking to themselves? And they were like, you work here long enough, you'll talk to yourself. You'll talk to yourself. I get
everybody in the newsroom's talking to themselves. It's like, and you're like, you talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? I'm talking to myself. So it's like, please don't talk to yourself. Focus.
Focus, and you've got a lot of other externals.
Oh gosh, craziness. Yeah.
I mean, what people see is they see the other side of the camera. So they see you, and they see the desk, and they might see a laptop or a microphone or whatever. background, but they don't see what's on the
Oh, confusion on the other side.
Yeah.
And then, the director forgets to turn the switch off. So I'm hearing everything in the control room while I'm trying to read this somber story about the death of this icon. And they're cracking jokes in there, because they're not paying attention. And it's like, oh, I'm going to get you. Yes. So they have no idea how they're distracting me. It's like, oh my goodness.
You really you have to stay laser focused.
You do.
I mean, I know that goes with any profession, but especially like when you're under, it feels like you're under a microscope like when you're in front of that camera, because like everything you do, everything you say, and if you deviate.
Yes. And you could throw them, you could throw yourself. So, yeah. We always say TV's for the insane, So, it's like, are you insane? Okay.
Well, the last thing I wanted to touch on before we cut to a break is I want to talk about you have something else that you're working on that's going to be coming out. It's in the works. Your YouTube channel.
Yeah, my YouTube channel. I'm working with a couple of pros who have done it before, and trying to come up with the name. But the theme generally is aging gracefully. That's not the name of it, but that's the theme of it. And my goal is to, as I ease out of television, I want to travel the country and travel the world and talk with people about the aging process. Right now, the oldest or the biggest group of people in the country, I think, is like 50 to 60 something, 65 or something. We're like the biggest group of people. And so it's a good time to do that. They even have models that are coming out in their 60s.
Really?
Oh, yes. I need to be discovered.
That's awesome.
Yes, because supposedly this is the age group that has the money. Because we're retiring now, we had the 401ks, and so that's where a lot of the advertising is going. So that's why they're now using a lot of older models. You will see models in their 60s and 70s because those are the women that are willing to spend money. Because you can't take it with you, so they want to spend it. So I want to capture that audience.
And what do you have the YouTube channel in place yet, or do you have a website?
It's not live, but yeah, we're working on it. Yeah.
Okay. So, what about your Facebook page? Where would you want to direct people just to keep up with you, to know, like, okay, when you do go live, they want to find me?
I have two Facebook pages because I have one that's really personal because I had to do a Saturday morning prayer with moms in the community, and that's under my real name, which is Dee Armstrong. So I have a great following there. We pray and we hold ourselves accountable, and we pray for our families. So if you want to join me there on Saturday mornings at 8:30, that's really cool. And then my Dee Armstrong is really tied to what I do at WLTZ. So you'll see a lot of the stories. I go back and look at some of my stories. There's some great stories there. So much has happened in our community. There's so many people in our community that have stories to tell. That's really where my passion is. So on YouTube, I can't wait to at a point where I actually begin to just do that full time.
That'd be great. We're looking forward to that. Thank you again, Dee, for coming into the studio. Thank you for having fun.
Oh yeah. You stay focused, man.
Yeah. Stay focused. All right. So we're going to cut to a commercial. Actually, I don't even think it's going to be a commercial. I think we're going to show a fun video, and we'll be back in just a moment with Joe Lesh. You're listening to WHAM Radio, and we've got somebody on the line who says he thinks he knows why Alabama wins all those football games. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, this is Mr. Bobby Boucher, and I'm calling from Coach Klein's house in his fancy recording booth. And my mama says that she believes that Alabama wins all those football games because they get magical coins from the leprechauns after every win. So I don't know about you, but if I was out on that football field, I would be working really hard to get those magical coins because I could buy a lot of high-quality H2O.
Right. Okay. Leprechauns. So do tell us more.
Oh, yes, of course. So the leprechauns, they live in a magical tree somewhere in Alabama, and only Nick Saban knows where it is. But Mama says she doesn't believe in them because that's of the devil.
Right. The devil.
Yes.
All right. Well, I believe that's all the time that we have. So
but
thanks for calling.
No, don't hang up on me. Don't you hang up on me. I will come down there and I will, thank you, Mr. Radio Man. Good day. Now, I could use a glass of high-quality H2O. It's hot in here. Coach Klein, give me some high-quality H2O.
And we're back. Now we're going to go all the way to Nashville, Tennessee with my good friend, Joe Lesh. Joe.
Hey,
Hey,
is
how
that
are
you, Sam?
Yes, that is me.
I wasn't sure. I hadn't seen that face before with all that hair on it.
With all the hair, yeah. Normally I keep it well trimmed. I try my best to.
Good boy, Sam.
Well, thank you.
Good boy, Sammy.
I was just about to ask you, since you're a voiceover talent, you're also an author, speaker, and you teach character animation. Do you have a tendency to do character voices when other people do a voice?
No, I tend to save that for in the mornings when I'm getting ready for the day, because that's when I have my opportunity to irritate my wife.
What voice would you use to irritate your wife?
Oh gosh, there's just so many. The little man drops in. I say, "Oh, honey, I'm sorry. He showed up this morning. She's not a morning person, and I am.
Yes.
So I'll just start saying goofy things or singing weird songs with strange lyrics and like, yeah. She says, "Oh boy, he's back, isn't he?" Yeah, I'm afraid so.
What's one of your favorite voices that you do, like animation or like an impersonation?
Well, character voices are, it's a pretty wide assortment of voices. From if you're doing an audio book and they're real people, then you don't go very far out of your range. You just try to capture the attitude of that character so the listener can clearly understand who's speaking at any time when it comes back to the narrator, when it goes to another character. But I think as far as animation goes, when I was doing stuff for the Disney Channel, we did a cartoon called Stinger, King of the Bees, and I was the evangelistic praying mantis.
Really? The praying mantis. Okay, I like that.
The Reverend Mantis at your service.
I love that. I love animation, as you know, and
Sure.
I think it's fascinating.
You are animated.
Well, yes, I have been called animated once or twice. I like how your career, you've done film and then you've done voiceover. Did you switch over to voiceover, or have you been doing voiceover the whole time with film?
I did. I switched over to voiceover. I was doing, during the 90s, I was the on-camera spokesperson for Philips Magnavox. So I was their on-camera spokesperson, and I did lots of TV commercials for them, but I also did all their radio commercials here in my home studio.
And I understand since then, I mean, you've got a long list of credits, including you voiced Dave Ramsey's books, correct?
That's true. I have produced 20 books for Dave. Now, if Dave or Rachel or any of his presenters write a book, they come into my studio and record them. My job is to slow them down, make sure they're understood, because generally they're presenting to a big audience. And so you don't have a big audience here. We're talking to one person.
Okay.
When that one person has their headphones on and they're listening to you, you can go too fast and lose them. We want them to feel like you're talking to them. And so that's my job, is to produce their books. But for his children's books, I am the voice of Junior's Adventures.
Oh,
so I do all the character voices and the narration for the kids' books.
So you produce his books and then you voice the children's book. You voice one of the characters.
Yeah, I produce them both. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've, of course, have been a part of your booth camp.
Yes, you have.
And I must say that
you were a very good part of it.
Well, thank you. I loved, for those who are watching that don't know, you have these classes that you do, of course, you do them in your studio. People can sign up for that, right? They can register?
Sure. Oh, yeah, yeah. Go to joelesh.com and you
Okay.
can just scroll down to the workshops. That's what's going on locally. And sometimes I teach out of town. I just got back from Memphis. I taught there this past weekend.
And you also do virtual online workshops as well.
Yes. Yeah. Webinars with John Florian of voiceoverextra.com. And that's voiceover X, like not EX, but an extra.com. He's the news and information leader within the industry.
And speaking of the industry, I know that things are changing. And so one of the things that you want to let people know right now is that we need to be more mobile ready, right?
That's true. Mobile first.
Mobile first. Okay.
See, in the past, or even today, many websites are designed on a desktop first, and they trickle down to mobile. And so you don't want to confuse a mobile-friendly site with a mobile-first site. According to Google, as of July 13th of 2019, they announced that they were going to give priority to websites that were built on mobile first. And by the September of this year, it will be in full effect. So if you're in a number one position on number one page, if you're not mobile first, you could wind up many pages back. You're going to get left in the dust.
And that's scary for people that have like businesses or products or things that they want to push and they're not getting noticed.
Sure, especially if they're not paying attention to what's going on the internet.
Okay.
Now, if you go to mobile first, mobile is everywhere. Mobileeseverywhere.com. There's mobile tools there are tools very similar to Weebly, Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, and those are all desktop sites. You can build your own site, but if you go to mobileiseverywhere.com, you'll have the tools to build a mobile first website. joelesh.com was built with those tools.
Okay.
Because see, right away, I started drifting to I got back to page 3. So I quickly built a mobile. I transferred everything over from Weebly to mobileiseverywhere.com, and it transfers nicely.
Okay.
So I went back to page 1 within a week.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to talk about real quick. You've got a book that you've recently written, and that's Positively Thinking.
That is Positively Speaking.
I did it again.
You think too much.
Thinking.
Mm-hmm.
See, I got distracted.
More.
I got distracted there.
Think less, talk more. Yeah, Positively Speaking. It's actually built. I created that book because Norman Vincent Peale. He was the founder of Guidepost magazine in 1947. Norman Vincent Peale wrote a book called The Power of Positive Thinking. And so he's been a big inspiration in my life. And so based on that theory, I wanted to write a book about voiceover and help voice actors stay in tune with, or stay focused on their path to building a voiceover career, because many of them will fall out within the first year or within the first couple years, and then they're just gone. So this book is really written to help them stay motivated, stay the course, and build their voiceover business and be successful with it. So Positively Speaking is available at joelesh.com/#ebooks.
Okay. Well, I definitely need to make sure I get me a copy of Positively Speaking. Obviously, I get distracted pretty easily, and so I have to be careful. And I believe that you have, squirrel. I believe that you have a Mojo Friday video that we can show, right? That deals with the subject?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
good. Because I want to do that.
Is that a break right now? Are we on break?
No, what we'll do
back
is
after this commercial.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I think that we can wrap it up here, and then we'll show that video.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Joe, for being on Light Talk. I really appreciate it.
Sam,
always good
great
to
see you.
Yes, and thank you again. Thank you, Mo, over there in the back.
Oh yeah, see you around.
And hey, if you want to check out joelesh.com, find out more information about how you can get his book, about how maybe you can sign up for booth camp, and get registered, especially if you're wanting to pursue a career in voiceover. We'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome to Mojo Friday. This is Joe Lesh from Booth Camp. Today's topic has to do with managing distraction. It doesn't matter what kind of work you do. Distraction can keep you from getting things done, whether it's internal, personal, or electronic. Staying focused is not always easy to do, yet success or failure hangs in the balance. Getting stuff done is imperative, and focus is the key to getting stuff done. Internal distraction is as annoying as external distraction. If you find that you're all over the place, look within yourself. What is the source of your anxiety? What should you be working on? Plan out your day, give yourself a timeline, and apply the 10-1 rule. Every 10 minutes spent in planning saves an hour in execution. Break down larger projects with smaller tasks. This helps with concentration, and your sense of accomplishment will be your reward. Spend a little time to clear out your work area. Being better organized will give you a greater sense of focus. Distractions will always be around, but one truly great thing you can do for yourself is learn how to avoid those distractions. Now, these are just a few of my several tips to managing distraction. If you would like to learn about all 10 rules, read my article, Look, a Distraction, on file at voiceoverextra.com. This is Joe Lesh from Booth Camp. Join me for Mojo Friday, the first and third Friday of each month here at VoiceOver Extra, for voiceover tips from Booth Camp. It's time to get your mojo working.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was distracted by something. We have had a great time on this program, and I hope you have as well. Like, I want to leave you with a story, another story. I know, because of all of what we've been talking about today with the distractions, I felt like that this would be relevant to something. Well, maybe you could relate to it. I'm going to start over.
That's fine.
All right, take two.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, we've had a great time on our show today. I hope you have as well. I want to thank Dee Armstrong and, of course, Joe Lesh for being on the program. And I want to leave you with this one story. And actually, this is very current and relevant. Well, I hope it might be relevant to something that you've been going through. So here's the thing. I got this old bookshelf that was given to me, right? This old bookshelf that my in-laws gave me. And they said, you know, maybe you can use it in your office. And I was like, yeah, maybe I can. So I set this thing out on our front porch thinking, I'm going to clean this and I'm going to find some space in my office. All right, that was about a month ago. So my wife finally asked me, could you please remove the bookshelf that's sitting on the front porch? Because, and I'm sure she didn't say this, but I was thinking, it looks like a flea market, or we're having a yard sale. People are driving by going, man, look at that bookshelf over there. Man, I wonder how much they want for it, right? Yeah, so I thought about it, and I was like, okay, she's right. I need to go ahead and clean this thing and put it in my office. So I clean it, and I go in my office. I've got no room in my office. I'm looking all around, and I'm just trying to envision where this bookshelf is going to go. And I'm thinking of all the wonderful things that I can move out and put this bookshelf in its place and then somehow magically fit everything back. And I end up sitting around for hours not doing anything but envisioning where this bookshelf was going to go. I kid you not. I sat around for hours. This was hours from the evening, hours to the morning, hours to the afternoon. I did nothing. And I've got all of these jobs that I've got to get to. So I finally went to my wife and I said, I don't know what to do. I can't focus. I can't do anything. This bookshelf is like in my head right now. I can't do anything with it. And I don't know how to get to my jobs right now. So I went and prayed, God, please help me to stay focused. What do I need to do? And I believe the Lord made it very clear. Get rid of that bookshelf. So that's what I did. I took that bookshelf, put it in the van, drove down to the thrift store, and donated it. So now, I'm sure that that lovely couple that drove by and said, oh my goodness, what happened to the bookshelf? Hopefully they can get it at the thrift store now, if it's still there. Hey, so what is it that's distracting you right now? Is it a bookshelf? Is it an addiction, a bad habit? Is there something that's keeping you from those lofty goals, from the purpose that you have, that calling that's on your life? What is that distraction? Maybe you could ask God, help me. Help me to get rid of that thing and to focus and to be who God's called you to be. I'm Sam Beman, and you're watching Light Talk. Take care. God bless.
It's time to have some fun. On Light Talk with Sam Beman. We got skits and interviews. We got everything but the blues. It's on. Light Talk is on. Light Talk with Sam Beman.